All right, we're going to finish lesson 1.6 up. How do you solve a system of linear inequalities, right? So we're going to do this with a little word problem here. It says Malcolm earns $20 per hour mowing lawns and $10 per hour walking dogs. His goal is to earn at least $200 a week, but he must work no more than 20 hours per week. Maybe he's constrained, he has to go to school or something the rest of the time. He must spend at least 5 of those hours walking his neighbor's dog. Okay, so his neighbor's got a requirement there. So how many hours should he work at each job to make his goal, so to make that $200? So I went ahead and set the variables of X is the number of hours mowing lawn and Y is the number of hours walking dogs, because those are the two things we have to figure out. So we have to set up our system first. We have to write the inequalities. So let's start with that. He wants to earn at least $200 a week. So how are we going to write that down? Well, we know he's going to earn those $200 a week, one from mowing lawns at $20 an hour, and then also from walking dogs for $10 an hour. So if I take those $20 and multiply it by X, the number of hours he mows lawns, and I add the $10 an hour he makes from walking dogs times the number of hours he walks dogs, he wants that to be greater than or equal to $200 each week. So there's the first inequality. Then there's a second constraint of he can't work more than 20 hours a week. So his total number of hours of mowing lawns and walking dogs has to be less than or equal to 20 hours. So X, number of hours mowing lawns, plus Y, the number of hours walking dogs, has to be less than or equal to 20 hours. And then finally we have this third constraint up here, which is that 5 of his hours have to be walking his neighbor's dog. So let me underline that. Is 5 of his hours have to be walking his neighbor's dog. So he must spend at least 5 hours walking a dog. The value for Y has to be greater than 5 because it's 5 hours walking his neighbor's dogs plus another dog, right? So those are our 3 inequalities. So when you have to solve these, we're going to go back to graphing, okay? So you can graph all of these because they're linear equations, right? So you can graph Y. Let's just do it real quick. So Y has to be greater than or equal to 5. So let's just go up to 5. I'm going to go up by 5. I changed my mind. Do I have an eraser? Let me grab one. It's too big of a space. I'm thinking about spacing. Okay, so let's just make this 5, 10, 15, 20. So if I were to graph this, Y has to be greater than or equal to 5. So let's use my ruler here. There's Y equals 5. This says Y has to be greater than or equal to 5. So I know we have to live up here in this part of the graph. Okay? So that's this green line. Okay? Y equals 5. And now if I need to graph this, I need to rearrange it so that I can graph it in slope-intercept form, right? So if I move this X over, I have Y is less than or equal to negative X plus 20. And I'm writing it like that because that's slope-intercept form, right? My Y-intercept is 20. I'm going to do this in blue so it matches that, right? My Y-intercept is 20, and my slope is minus 1. So it's going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So it's going to be like, if these are also by 5s, it's really going to be something like going down, right? So I'm just going to estimate here if it's going to be something like this, right? And this is just a sketch. I'm going to show you in a calculator in a second. So Y has to be less than or equal to that. So we are talking about this area. Now I'm only going to get to color in here because I already know it has to be above Y equals 5. So we're in this little triangle area. So now let's see what happens when I deal with this last thing, the pink one. Let's rearrange that. I'm going to rearrange it over here. Let's move that x over. So 10y is less than or equal to negative 20x plus 200. Divide by 10, divide by 10. I get y is greater than or equal to 2x plus 20. Again, so my y-intercept's at 20, but now my slope is negative 2. I forgot negative 20 divided by 10 is negative 2. It's a little steeper, right? So it's going to be down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. So I'm just going to have it going down. I'm going to estimate that a little steeper. So something like this. And it has to be greater than all of that. So we're living in here. So you can see the solution to this system of inequalities is anywhere in this rectangle, right? So for example, if x was 5 and y was, I don't know, 12, it looks like, it would be in here, and that's a possible solution. So any coordinate pair inside this shaded area is a possible solution. So possible solutions are in this box. And you can do this on Desmos too, and you can do it on your graphing calculator. I want to show you. It makes it so much easier because you don't have to rearrange it. So let's just graph this. So 20x, so y, so you actually do have to rearrange it. On Desmos you don't. On your graphing calculator you do because it's set up as y equals. So luckily I already have it here. But if you click on the equal sign, you can hit enter. Oh, here we go. There was a way to shade this, to look that up for you guys. So y equals negative 2x plus 20. My other one is y equals negative x plus 20. And then my last one was y has to be greater than or equal to 5. So if I graph that, I need to zoom out a little bit more. Let's change our window. Let's do 0 to 25. 0 to 25. So you can see those three lines match right here. And there's a way you can get it to shade, if I can remember. I don't know if you guys remember Rayhan. He showed me this last year. Was it this one? No. Oh yeah, here we go. So you can pick this. So you can see if your first one was 2x plus 20, we want it greater than that, right? So this little image is the greater than, and it's going to be blue, right? Okay, and then this next one, which was this one, we want it to be less than, right? So we want this to go below the line, red, okay, and then y equals 5, it was y is greater than 5, so we want to switch this to, let's not make it black, let's make it green, and we want it to be above the line, right? So all I'm doing is changing that on the left side of the y's. So now when you graph, it's really cool. You can see all of the colors there overlapped, and all your possible solutions live inside this little triangle where all three colors are. This is a much easier way to solve inequalities than having to graph it all by hand, but you should know how to do it if you ever have to do it by hand. All right, see you next time.